Hey Jet fans, welcome back to another video on Jack Talks Jets. Today's video is about an article that released earlier today about our wide receiver 2 void, and that of course is about wide receiver Amari Cooper. Cooper, who spent the past few seasons with the Cleveland Browns and last season with the Buffalo Bills, is currently on the free agent market, and can the New York Jets pick him up? Well, let's read this article by Bleacher Report writer Zach Presnell, and I quote from his article: Cooper may have looked a bit pedestrian last season, but he still has a lot of talent. Last season, he caught 44 passes for 547 yards and 4 touchdowns in 14 games. Still, he has reliable hands and the ability to run the entire route tree. That's a perfect example of Amari Cooper right there. Although Cooper has not had a full season in quite a while here, I still think he's one of those old, reliable wide receivers here. We saw with the Buffalo Bills last season. Like Presnell said, 44 passes, 547 yards and 4 touchdowns in 14 games. That is pretty good to me. I'd rather have it, honestly, as a wide receiver 2 over Amari Cooper, or over Allen Lazard or Josh Reynolds any day of the week, just because really of our desperate need in wide receiver 2. And I really like that idea of having a veteran presence here like Amari Cooper in this locker room. I get he's 30 years old. Maybe he won't play to what he used to, like with the Cowboys or the Raiders. But I still think he can put up some numbers for you and provide a good cushion for the void in between Garrett Wilson and Allen Lazard as our wide receiver 2 right now. Because, like I mentioned, I'm not really comfortable with having Allen Lazard or Josh Reynolds as my wide receiver 2 right now. Having a guy like Amari Cooper, who is the front center of this video here, is one of those guys who I am totally comfortable with being a wide receiver 2, and maybe even a wide receiver 3, right? Because although I don't see it, maybe the Jets get another receiver in this free agency or trade for a receiver and maybe sign Cooper to a 1-year deal. I'm still fine with that. Although my preference would obviously be wide receiver 2, because I don't see the Jets getting really any other wide receiver in this trade, on the trade block, or in free agency right now, other than the 2 wide receivers I really have in mind in Keenan Allen and Amari Cooper. I may do a separate video on Keenan Allen coming out soon, but Amari Cooper, like I said, he's phenomenal, right? I really think he's past his prime, obviously, but like I said, he could still put up a lot of numbers. And if the Jets were to sign him to a contract, I'd probably, since he's not what he used to be, right, obviously the price is going to go down for him. So I'm going to say if the Jets sign him to a 1-year deal, I'm going to say it'd probably be around 1 year, $10 to $13 million. I would say it's a fair price for Amari Cooper. And then maybe if you sign him to a 2-year deal, obviously if you do the math, that's 2 years, $20 to $26 million. And I think the Jets could totally afford that, right? Obviously because they didn't use all of their cap space money this past offseason. So I really feel like Cooper will be a valuable part of this offense, especially if we need Justin Fields to learn how to pass more, right? Because obviously we know that Fields isn't really the best passer in the league, and I hope that Tanner Angstrom and Justin Fields' quarterbacks coach can coach that out of him, just for better accuracy, better deep ball accuracy, which is why I think the Jets will go with a run-and-gun style offense this year. I think it's inevitable, right? You have 3 great studs in the backfield, and Breece Hall, Braylon Allen, and Isaiah Davis. I think it's inevitable that they do go for a run and gun style offense this year. The only issue is tight end, right? I really wish they addressed the tight end, the really good tight ends in this draft, because I like Mason Taylor in the sense of his route running. I just don't like anything else about him, really. I don't see anything intriguing on him. I'd rather take Harold Fenton Jr. or Tyler Warren over him any day of the week. So, really, even tight end is a big void right now, because I think Taylor's unproven. Stone Smart, I'm not comfortable being our tight end 1 and a blocking tight end specifically. Jeremy Ruckert, don't even get me started on Ruckert here. I'm not comfortable with really anything in his field, which is why we're kind of desperate right now for a pass catcher too. Like it could even be a tight end, like on the trade market for Dallas Goedert here. Dallas Goedert could even be someone the Jets could go after on the trade block, not even just to be a pass catcher, but to be a blocker as well. I think Goddard's pretty good at that as well, right? So it's not even the fact that we need a wide receiver too. We need a pass catcher too, because really Garrett Wilson's really the only pass catcher right now that I really trust on this team. And who knows, Wilson's going to get doubled. We all know that's coming. So he needs help in this wide receiver room or tight end room, whether that be, like I said, Dallas Goedert or a guy like Kyle Pitts that we can trade for. We just need somebody to help Garrett Wilson in this pass catching field. So really, that's all I got for you guys today. Great small article there by Zach Presnell on Amari Cooper. I think it's a great idea for the Jets to go after him, especially because he's not even that expensive, right? And he's maybe 30 years old and getting to the end of his career, but he can still produce numbers, and that's what I like. And he could still be a true wide receiver too, which is another thing I like. So anyways, thank you all so much for watching today's video. I'm Jack Talks Jets. Make sure if you're new, make sure to hit that like button. If you're new as well, make sure to hit that subscribe button, and I will see you all next time. Peace out, Jet fans.